and introduce them real quick. So let's just go around the table, and maybe you can, since technically your characters have already made it through an entire adventure, fighting kobolds and the mighty dragon. Maybe you could briefly describe what role your character played and what like their general approach to adventuring was. Maybe we just go from left to right on my screen, which is Anthony first.
Sure. So this is I'll be playing as Keen Marrow, who is a gnoll from the Mwangi Expanse, and she has come up to Otari for uh, her own sort of business. She has made it clear that she's seeking certain information, but in the process of kind of poking around, she ended up involved in this whole business with something about monsters in the cellar of a fishery. It seemed to attract her attention, seems to uh, perk her interest, and she volunteered to go down with the others into the depths and discover what was there. She's a spellcaster by nature, and she has a pet vulture that seems to perch on her shoulder, and she occasionally talks to it, and she seems to listen as well. Uh, she's sort of a tall, broad, shaggy gnoll with dark fur, and she's still clad in sort of the traditional garb of her people. So she's wearing a lot of like uh, light silks and robes that kind of maybe they're a little too light for the weather of Otari. Um, but there's lots of bones woven into her outfit, which is also traditional for gnolls. So
Okay, cool. And
How common are gnolls in society? Like, would we be a bit weirded out?
they are listed as an uncommon race, so probably
and
not too many of them.
Well,
that is for the inner sea region, or that's also true for the Movangi expanse?
I mean, I assume for the Mwangi Expanse, they're much more common. They seem to be primarily in the Expanse and in Katapesh.
So have
So
they changed? Yeah, have they changed anything about the lore? Because in 1E they used to be basically known as a slaver
yeah,
ancestry.
they definitely have they have a brutal reputation, but the lore has, I think, added a little more nuance to that.
yeah,
So people who don't know much about gnolls might assume that they're all just like savage, murderous cannibals. But there's uh, a lot more to them than that. So
Okay.
I think I've
I
heard
think they,
that.
I think they did it with a lot of the playable ancestries, like even
Yeah.
orcs got a little.
Yeah.
They're not as brutal as before now.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I've
goblins
heard
and all of that.
that. Yeah, I've heard that Pathfinder in general tries to like scrub the slavery off completely from the setting.
Well, I mean, what they did is that they basically changed this species or this race is naturally this alignment. You know, they
Well, I
just
mean that
basically
was
turned
a
all of
long
them
time ago,
into
really.
everyone's all the ancestries are a spectrum essentially. So how would your teammates, your comrades have seen you in battle?
They probably would have, despite her kind of size and bulk, they would have seen her stay away from getting too directly involved in any engagements, and much keener to kind of stay in the back and whisper strange words in her foreign tongue, and make unfortunate things happen to her foes.
All right, lots of inconveniently dropped pants.
Maybe
Okay.
maybe some bones that move around on their own too.
Ooh. I see. Bone shaker. Okay. Sam, how about John?
So, as his name indicates, he does happen to be a smith, as his father was and his father before. He's been living in the area of Otari for a while, and as an ordained member of Thorax Cleric, when Tamili sent out the call for help to deal with whatever was happening under her fishery, he made sure to be there to protect his people from danger. In combat, you mostly have seen him swing his warhammer with more or less efficiency. He's also been, after combat, been there to mend bones either with magic or with a healer's toolkit.
And he's not a dwarf.
He is not.
Okay. Has that come up? Why he's a
What?
cleric of Torak. He's a cleric of Torak, the god of
Yes.
dwarves, but he's not a dwarf. Has that come up in conversation with the party? Has that been discussed yet? Why?
It was probably curious, but I suppose there was a reason for this.
I mean, you don't have to be a dwarf to worship the father of creation.
I thought he was specifically the creator of the dwarves, but I may be mistaken.
I think it's one of the creation myths that he created dwarves, and another one is that he took part in creating the whole world.
Okay, I see.
He is definitely the head of the dwarven pantheon.
Pantheon, yeah. And he is noted as the one member of the dwarven pantheon that's known by non-dwarves.
Oh, okay. And I guess so. John is probably mostly worshiping his aspect as a creator, master craftsman,
And protector.
protector. Okay, got it. So I guess we already have kind of an idea, but what would John Smith's you know MO in battle look like?
Yeah.
No, that was a question, but I think we have an idea.
It's pretty clear, like Warhammer and Shield.
Got it. Okay. First liner, essentially. Okay. Karnas, we already know Melchis.
Yeah, I mean
So-
he was spending some time in Atari for several years now, and he owner of completely legitimate business with no suspicious activities that's happening inside. Yes, but for a barber, he seems to be possessing quite a degree of very diverse skills that he occasionally employs in assistance to the community. Which and one of the occasions came when the troubles in the fishery happened. In which case, he helped out with his newly founded acquaintances, and well, came out of this more or less unscathed, with some profit even.
Okay.
As it usually happens.
Sure. And finally, Gris de Ezren.
Gris de Ezren came from the bigger city, and her relationship with good old Ezren was always a bit strange, because contrary to the rest of the quite large and obnoxious family, she was the only one without any magic. And yeah, so always a bit kind of left out of going on the adventuring and those kind of things. But she found her own calling as a barkeep, and in one of those rowdy places, there was a lot of head bashing and, the friendly patron fights. But that wasn't enough. And when she heard what happened with Ezren and the dragon, I decided that it was time to pick up adventure. And using the sword she's quite practiced with, set off and has joined the gang.
Okay. What's her relation to Ezren?
Depend how old is Ezren, because it could be like grandfather or uncle or something like that.
I think he's surprisingly, yeah. No, he's
I think
57
he was
years
like
old.
what?
57 years old.
Oh, I thought he was younger. I, I think in first edition he was in like late 30s.
Nope, he's 57.
I think in the beginner box it says that he started adventuring in his late 30s.
Ah,
But that doesn't mean that he was in his late 30s as we see him.
okay. Well, his wiki page says that at the age of 42, uh, he basically struck out to adventure, and he's currently 57. So what's
Yeah,
the relation?
he's an uncle. He's an
Oh,
uncle.
no. Okay.
Close uncle, yeah.
All right. Okay. I guess we already have kind of an idea for some of you, but what's your general motivation for like what got you roped into getting doing the first mission for Tamili, and what are you looking to in the future, like the adventurer's life? What is attracting you to that sort of career or lifestyle?
Well, that I've always wanted to prove myself. I know I have more than everyone assumed, especially all that fancy magic using. So I have a bit of a disdain for magic, and the life of a barkeep is not for me. There's some destiny calling me,
Got it. Destined for greatness.
greater things, exactly. And in the end, open my own brewery or tavern.
How about John? What makes John leave his smithy behind to strike out an adventure?
Well, there was danger to the people surrounding him. How can he not heed the call?
No. Melchis? It's a little unclear to me. Is he trying to build a reputable reputation?
Well, more or less, of course. I mean, in the end, it always pays to have people being indebted to you, and well, it's a good thing to make people indebted to you if you do good things for them.
I see. So very, very selfless.
Of course.
And Keen?
Keen has, Keen was in training to be a bone keeper of her tribe, but something happened during during her studies, which has sent her out into the world for her own purposes, which she's a little tight-lipped about.
Is Bonekeeper, does she explain, or did she explain to the group what that is?
She would probably explain that it's something like a shaman and a keeper of lore and a protector of ancestors.
Okay. All right. Interesting group that has, as we all very vividly remember, cleared out the dungeons under the old fishery and has made a bit of a name for themselves in the little town of Otari. And in particular with the always cheery Tamili Tandervale, who, after some time had passed, calls you back to her fishery slash gambling hall, I guess, to let you in on some news. Let me see if I can play the Otari fishery backdrop for you. Let me know if it's too loud or anything.
It's alright.
All right. The sounds of chatter and laughter spill from the Otari fishery's open doors alongside warm and welcoming lamplight. And within, there are a few dozen common folk gathered around rough tables with cards and dice and tokens and other game pieces scattered among them. The friendly and freckled human woman you've already came to know, called Tamili Tandervale, pops up and grins in greeting. Her peg leg, a red and white striped affair with a bright blue bow at the top, thunks against the floor as she hurries forward. I'm so glad you came. Welcome. Can I get you something to drink? Snacks? She gestures towards an empty table in the near corner, and with a flurry of clattering activities, she sets out bowls of fried vegetables, a platter of sausage rolls, plates of cookies, and mugs of frothy ale. Tammy Lee lifts her mug in a toast. Now, everyone knows that a good adventuring team like you needs a base of operations, right? And I have just the place for you. An old fish camp I used to run, right up the road from here. I haven't been using it since I opened this place up, and I owe you all something big. If you want it, it's all yours. Just be careful when you check it out since it's been empty for a while, okay? So no telling what's holed up in there since we left. And don't mind Blue Finley. They're harmless. Okay, so cheers! And she, tries to clink her mugs.
Do we know?
Cheers! This place is much better than the place I used to work.
Well, I mean, you would know it because you've been here before.
Yeah,
First mission.
like
right.
I'm still admiring. Like, I really like this place, and thank you for that offer. Sounds incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you were incredible last time. Like, you slayed a dragon. We all owe you. It's the least I can do, really. And I'm not really using it anymore. It's been a while, so.
Well, I mean, after a good hearty meal, I suppose we could go check it out, see if we can clean it up a little bit. I look around the table, stuffing my mouth already. Oh,
How far did you say it is?
Oh, it's. She puts her mug on the table, wipes her mouth, and produces a map from a pouch at her side, unrolls it, and shows you the location on it. It's right here. That's about 6 miles down the road.
still with my
Sorry.
mouth full. It's a fishery it used to be. Does it still smell like fish?
I mean, I haven't been there for a while. I wouldn't know. Of course, at the time it did. I mean, I mostly used it for fishing. So you would expect like a 3-hour hike to get there.
And you mentioned something about the Finley?
Yeah, Blue Finley, but they're harmless. She waves her hand vaguely. They're a ghost. They were there when I bought the camp way back when, and they just keep to themselves, so I've left them alone. So long as you don't bother them, you'll be fine.
You see Keen's ears kind of perk up when she hears that, and she says,
Ghosts? Ghosts of who?
No, just a ghost. They're just, they were probably a person before they were a ghost. I didn't get a chance to hear their whole story. I just know that as long as you keep your distance, everything's fine. It's fine. Oh, no worries. Just a ghost.
This
As long as it's
base
not
of
ghost
operation,
fish, we'll be fine.
it sounds most agreeable.
Good. So it's decided then. Well, that's awesome. I mean, I would really hate to see that nice place go to waste, and I don't really don't have the time to get out there anymore. So, awesome, cool, yeah. Well, enjoy your stay here. Of course, this round's on me, and enjoy your snacks and just good luck. And she's getting up, ready to leave you to it, unless you have any final questions. Okay.
Keen has no questions for her, but as she's leaving, she'll turn to the others and she'll gesture to the food and say,
Is anybody eating this?
Yeah, Melchis will put his plate to her and say, like, "No, I think I'm lost my appetite now. So you can have it."
she'll take his food and any other food that's not being eaten, and she'll open like a large hide pouch that she has, and she just scoops it all in.
It must not go to waste.
Tamili says, watches her do that and says, "Oh, sorry, you could have said something. I'd be happy to get your doggy back. I mean, no offense, And she genuinely seems a bit flustered by her faux pas. I mean, I would have packed it for you, is what I mean.
Uh, Keen kind of blinks and says,
I do not understand why offense would be taken.
Okay, okay, good. Great, she says, trying to change the subject, drains her mug, and says, "It's settled, I guess. So I'm just gonna go take care of the paperwork, so you can have the deed and everything, make it all official. And I guess there's also lots of customers around, so yeah, enjoy yourselves, play a game or two, and like I said, drinks tonight on me.
Thank you.
Bye."
Well, yeah. Take care.
Right, and
Oh well.
she moves off.
As tempting as a night of games and revelry sounds, I am really curious to check out this place.
I suppose we should. And it would be quite interesting if a place could be made profitable if there's a ghost in there.
Oh, well, we could perhaps ask around. Somebody knows about this Blue Findlay?
I suppose we should. I think it would be prudent to come there prepared. Yeah. Well, as they say, forewarned is forearmed, or something to that effect, right?
What's armed? Sorry, was there a question?
Okay, can I use my feat Hobnobber? I am skilled at learning information through conversation. The gathering information exploration activity takes you half as long as normal. And no, I am not a master in diplomacy.
I mean, you're free to spend the evening here or wherever you like. You're of course free to ask around in the old fishery to hear if somebody may have heard about a Finley of some sort. So sure, we can let you do that. How long does the gather information activity normally take? Typically 2 hours. So for you, it's just an hour of asking around with the patrons. That sounds
And I'm
good.
just casually asking around, just revelries, sharing
So-
drinks, just
Right,
being
so
in a good mood.
whenever you're ready, you can give me a blind diplomacy check. There's a link in the chat that you should be able to click on, and then select a blind GM roll. What are the others doing? So basically, I guess Gris like finishes her drink, gets up, and says, "Let's see if anybody here knows anything about a Finley," and then joins the crowd. What are the others gonna do?
I think I will try to make the recall knowledge check in this case.
Okay.
Would the lore of Underworld help with this?
No, I don't think so. That would be society and no particular lore. I don't think.
Blind game.
Yep. Okay. I mean, this is just just trying to recall something, so this is not taking that much time, so you're free to do anything else
Yeah.
afterwards. Off the top of your head, you don't remember any, like, significant person from the area of that name. So it's not like it's a well-known story that people tell each other or anything like that.
Well, I don't really have anything else to do, so I will, I suppose, observe the crowd for now. And ponder what else can be in there except the ghost, because apparently the ghost was the least of our problems in there.
John is going to just turn in early, make his pack, and be ready for the morning.
Okay. And Keen?
Keen is going to pinch her nose and down her her drink, and then she's going to kind of linger by the I don't know, by the back of the fishery or wherever it is that they're disposing of scraps, like any food that's partially consumed or whatever's left over, and she's just going to start adding it to the same sack as the rest of the food that she got.
Okay. I imagine that there's, since this is mostly seafood that they're offering here, there's probably a kind of smelly pile of discarded fish bones and shells on the out back behind the fishery. So
Good. Good
Any
Orca
scraps?
enjoys spoiled.
all right. Okay. And that's basically how she's gonna spend the night before she
Yeah, she's not interested in talking to any of these people.
got it. Okay. So Grease, you get chummy with some of the folks around here and try to learn something, but most people just kind of Finlay. No, never heard of Finlay. Until you finally a pretty old lady overhears that you mention it, and she says, "Did I hear you say Finlay? That's
Yeah, blue Findlay.
well, I don't know about Blue, but I do know Finlay. I was friends with his grandmother a long time ago. Oh, it must have been almost 40 years now. She never recovered from the shock. She loved him. She loved him a lot. That's why she gave him that sword. Ah, what sad story. Really sad story.
A sword? And what happened with the sword? What?
You
You have
know,
an accident?
you know how these kids can be. Uh, they always have their heads full of stories. They all want to go out and prove themselves and make a name of themselves as an adventurer. Well, Finley's grandmother believed in them. She gave him his first sword, and she even told him to put it to good use. It was a different time back then. Entire species were evil, not like today. Anyway, he did not exactly become a hero. Didn't get a chance to. Late in the fishing season, it must have been 40 years ago now. His boat must have been caught in a storm or something. But he was out there, never came back. Sad time for his grandmother.
It's always painful to lose the young. Here's to old Bluey.
Oh,
And I cheer.
I don't drink beer, she says.
Oh, then that's perfect. I'll drink for the both of us. And I try to inject a bit of cheer into a suddenly sad topic.
Okay, and she takes a nip from a glass full of something that smells like varnish.
Is it some kind of schnapps? I ask.
No, it's just something that keeps my blood flowing. You know.
Oh, a bit of the old medicine, is it?
Yeah. Yes.
I give her a little wink. You go. And yeah, I go back with the gang.
All right. Yeah. I mean, most of them have already left by the time you're done. You just hear some excited growls coming from out back, and some slurping sounds. But it seems like the rest has decided to call it a night.
Ah, but Keen is there.
Well,
Hey,
yeah,
Keen,
gathering provisions.
mind if I ask you a question? And please tell me if it's out of line. I just want to learn.
Keen, pops her head up and turns around and wipes something off of her face.
That a yes? You have very sensitive smell, don't you? You don't have to answer. Sorry if I'm assuming.
I am double checking. It is, from what I understand, better than yours.
What I'm curious is, if we go to the fishery, it is then for sure going to smell stronger for you. But what I'm curious is, would it bother you, or will you enjoy it?
Do you enjoy things that are strong in flavor or scent?
Most of the time, yeah.
There is your answer.
Oh, I can't wait to check this place out. Shall
All
we
right.
then?
Yeah, then let's not wait, and we can fast forward a little bit. You make your preparations the next day, and you head out along the road, leaving town towards the old fish camp. Um, Tell me what you're doing. Like you're gonna be traveling overland for a little bit. It's not that far. It's 6 miles. If you keep a brisk pace, focus on covering distance, you could be there in 2 to 3 hours. But you don't really have to hustle. There's no rush. How do you travel? What do you do?
What's the weather like?
The weather is actually quite nice today for the season. There's sun's coming out every now and then, poking its head through the clouds. It's not raining. Kind of in the mid temperatures. Good hiking
Just
today.
yeah, I'm super enjoying my Wanderung after being locked up or like working in a bustling city most of my life. This is a nice change of pace, nice weather, fresh air that doesn't smell like dirt.
Hmm. So you basically just you wander around, or you kind of
Yeah, and whistle.
take in the scenery, whistling,
Hmm.
enjoying the hike for the hike's sake. Okay. How about the others?
Well, once yesterday evening we were pretty casual visiting and dining. So, but this morning, as we leave Otari, Melchis comes more equipped with for adventure. So his leather armor is, well, not leather armor, more like his padded cloak is back on him. He his newly obtained short sword is strapped to his belt, and his pack and his belt are clinking with something, well, with glass vials, as well as various well, pouches and packs with stuffed with supplies that he gathered from his place. So
Okay.
he equipped himself pretty seriously, and his demeanor is also like not as casual.
Okay, so he's kind of head on the eyes straight ahead, trying to make sure that you're kept covering the distance, getting there as quickly as you can.
More or less,
That kind of
yes.
thing. No dilly-dallying. Okay.
No lollygagging.
How
Uh,
about John?
John feels relatively safe since this is pretty much still home area. So he's not like on the lookout or anything, but he does have his weapons at arm's reach.
Got it. Okay. And finally, Keen.
Keen is just sort of strolling along, taking in the environment, and probably pulling her shawl a little closer around herself, grumbling about how cold it is here.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so none of you do anything that really slows the group down, particularly you're all keeping up with the pace. So about halfway to the camp, only an hour, maybe even slightly, just a little bit longer than an hour in, you get to a point where the route diverges from the main road, and you're gonna start traveling south along a beaten dirt track through a rather thick patch of forest. There are some old wheel ruts that line the path where carts or wagons may have once passed through, but the tracks are pretty faint and worn, so it doesn't seem like anything has come through here recently. Brush and twining vines grow thick among the trees lining the path, and the chirping and chattering of birds and insects fill the air. As you march along this dirt path, everyone rolls initiative, and we'll see what happens. So, let me get a
Initiative with perception.
Yep.
Alejandro, you can upload a picture yourself. You don't have to. I think you don't have to.
How do I do that? Because I've been trying.
Yeah, you just click the on the sheet. You click the artwork.
Yeah, and it uploads the token, but not the avatar.
No, on the left is the avatar, and on the
Yeah, but I can't. Everything's grayed out on the avatar side. I know. What if I took? Ugh, I'm so dumb. No, that was me being dumb. Never mind. Carry on.
says, yeah, but that's okay. I mostly need the token, so that's okay. As long as the token shows up.
That's strange. I can't actually click on an initiative.
Yeah. Do you want to start an active encounter, Simon?
I think it's.
Yes.
There it is.
So do I have to begin encounter?
Melchis doesn't have the token in the scene. So.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So first I'm gonna get you to that forest road. Can I move you here? Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, I didn't know you could
Yeah,
zoom us in like that.
Yeah. Also notice the shadows of the leaves on your tokens.
Yeah, they've got like an actual overhead layer.
That's nice, right? But never mind the centaur in front of you. I kind of didn't see that when I picked them up.
Waves the hand in front of you. There is no centaur.
There is no centaur, exactly. Okay, so I have Gris, I have John, I have Melchis. I don't have Keen yet.
Oh, you know what? I rolled a perception. I didn't make it a. Can I? There we go. I can turn it into an initiative roll.
Nice, of course you can, because things are.
I think Chris can nudge up her HP.
What now?
I think your HP might not be at full.
Yeah, it says you're
Oh,
barely.
it is not. You are right.
All right. So, yeah, you can around. You should be able to move. Yeah. In your marching order, whenever you're ready. You were marching north. I guess
Definitely
you
not
were.
in front.
For this particular section, you were marching north, even though the road moves south in general, but it's winding its way through the forest. Is that it? You kind of let John go ahead.
Well, Melchis is certainly not going to go ahead, at least at this time.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm just asking if you're ready. All right. So, yeah, so you go ahead and still trying to cover the distance. It's a little slower on this dirt path. So you're all kind of taken a little bit by surprise when Grease suddenly perks up and points ahead down the winding path, and you all turn to look at what it is that she's pointing at, And there it is, very angry, very big, smelly, vicious-looking boar that's kind of grunting and huffing and is pacing up and down menacingly. And Gris, you actually won initiative, so you get your turn before the boar.
Cool. So it is 70 feet. And with lunge, I know that's a different one. So how much can I move? 60 feet, right?
No, no, no. Your base movement is 25 feet with the single action.
Right. With a single
You
action.
remember
So I
that you have
can't reach it in time.
remember
It's probably lower than 25 with the armor penalty. I think the sheet doesn't update for that.
Yeah, because also my AC appears as 14, but with the half plate, I think that's 19.
what did you
If you go to the inventory, you have a little
Mm-hmm.
icon on the breastplate that you can click,
Yeah.
and it will show you whether it's held or worn or dropped. You need to select worn armor.
It it says worn.
Do you have a worn and between parentheses armor option?
No. No, but I think actually 14 might be okay. It's plus 5 AC bonus. No.
No,
Can that be right?
no.
yeah, Alejandro, when you click that little shirt icon next to the half plate in your inventory tab, it
Yeah.
says, yeah,
Ah,
now,
right.
now,
Yes,
you,
now it
now,
makes sense.
now it's
Okay.
more now. Now it's correct. So you have an AC of
Cool.
19.
Okay. Yeah.
Your speed
There we
is
go.
listed as, where's your speed listed?
It's on
It's
the
one
main
of the.
page.
Yeah, so now your speed is 20 feet, so it does update that.
Okay.
So it's one, for one action, you can go 4 squares.
So, and if I use 2 actions, I can move up to here.
Correct.
All right. That's what I will do then.
And that leaves you with a third action.
Yeah, but at the third action, oh yes, I will. I don't have a shield. Can I brace for the inevitable attack that is coming? Put on a defensive
That
stance or something.
is there something like that? Does anybody know? Is there like a
I
take
don't think there
cover?
is.
Take cover. You are benefiting from cover. You press yourself against the wall or duck behind an obstacle. If you would have standard covered, you instead gain gator cover. Otherwise, you gain the benefits of standard cover. Yeah, so we could say that you kind of like staying close to the that
The log.
tree trunk, you know,
Yeah.
ready to step behind it. So I would say that you take
Yeah.
the
Kind of put it between me and the. Yeah, I
yeah
can stand here. So it's like kind of put it between me and that. So if I need, like, I can
yeah. So
duck behind it.
as an action, it gives you standard cover because you're using an action here. Otherwise, it wouldn't give you cover at all. Okay.
Okay.
So, oops, I
That's
didn't.
it for me.
So that's it for you. Then
Hey,
it's the boss.
does it cost an action to draw my weapon?
Can you do
Yeah.
that with the move?
Yeah.
No, I mean, there was a question because in 1E
Ah.
you can combine drawing a weapon with moving for
Yep.
free.
That's what I would have done. Running forward. This dark steel bastard sword shining in the day.
Can anybody look that up for me? Because otherwise, then you wouldn't have an action for it.
Ah, I thought it was like I could. No, then I
I
don't know.
don't think it's a thing.
I'm just extrapolating from 1E. That's fine.
I think you might need to use like a manipulate action to pull it out. I don't know if you can combine it with movement like you could in 1E.
Draw is one action. Yeah, I'm seeing here.
It's actually,
Okay.
I think, listed on the sheet as well.
Yeah. So then I don't do the cover, but I draw my weapon and yeah, wait for it.
Okay, so no take cover action. All right, so basically boldly step towards it, drawing your weapon, ready to attack whenever it is within range. And at first you think, oh, you probably intimidated it because it takes a step back and backwards, kind of like continuing to grunt. But then all of a sudden, it charges forward. How do I use it? This is just the explanation. So it charges forward up to here and then strikes you with its tusks. How do I use
Bring it.
Strike plus 10, I guess, and it gets a +2 bonus on that. Nice. It's all prepared.
Oof.
And that's already a critical hit, so let's see what happens when we... Oh, I should have selected you first. Wait, really? 22 points of damage.
Oh well.
Vicious, yeah. It cannons into you. Its tusks ripping through your armor and your skin and flesh and blood everywhere. But that's its turn, and then it's John Smith.
Yeah.
Great.
John is going to take 2 actions to draw his hammer and shield, and he is going to stride. If I can remember, how is it that you do to... Okay, there. I
I
guess...
mean, in hindsight, running towards it was a dumb idea. We should have just like grouped up and let it run towards us, but it was such a nice day. I was feeling inspired.
Yeah, I think it fits your character description. Like somebody out to prove themselves is going to charge a boar.
I mean, lesson learned, I hope.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was 2 actions?
That was three
Three.
to
Okay,
two to draw and 1 to move.
got it. That's your turn. All right, Melchis.
Okay. Melchis will, I suppose, turn to King Marrow as to make a remark, saying that, well, we're not going to let Gris's sacrifice to go in vain, so I will draw my newly brewed Drakeheart mutagen and consume it 1 dose, which should give me +4 to my AC, I guess. Yes. So drawing and drinking would be 2 actions, I believe. And as my final action, I will draw my sword. In which case,
Okay.
in that case, as soon as Melchis downs his strange concoction, his skin will become his skin will become red. His becomes tough as copper, and his eyes will start glistering. He becomes Arden. Yes, he becomes Arden.
All right. Then it's Keen.
Keen is, yeah, she wasn't expecting this kind of brutal business just on a pleasant stroll, so she's going to advance forward to... yikes, she really has to get that close. She's not a fan of that, but she will stride forward. Come on. Oh, I've already forgotten what I have to do to move the stupid token. There we go. Foundry. It's different. And that's 1 action. I think she's too scared of this thing. She's gonna spend 2 actions to cast mage armor on herself. She begins to speak in Null, which I imagine has lots of like giggling and yipping sounds in it. And then she puts mage armor on, which I can actually cast here, and then I can add the effect to myself.
Cool. All right. So Keen protects herself Gris. Alejandro?
Yeah, I'm trying to contain my organs from spilling out of this, what was promised to be quite good half-plate armor, but it managed to hit half that's not covered, which is very annoying.
The other half.
And on the other hand, I have a sword, and very annoyed at this creature interrupting my lovely stroll, I bring it down with a snagging strike.
You combine
So,
grab moves.
basically it's like a stab and a push.
Make a strike while keeping one hand free of this.
How do I target the boar?
Double click
Double
the
click
right,
it. Ah, there
right
we go.
button.
Yeah.
Your weapon is two-handed, so you can't make an attack.
No, it's a bastard sword, and I'm holding it one hand. Ah, no, I swear I had equipped it one hand. I must have clicked wrong. Sorry.
Oh no. I think you were right before. I think you were right before. I just saw that it has the two-hand trait,
It has
but
two-hand option. Yeah.
okay, I see. You can wield it with one hand. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
All right. So you make a strike, and it's a hit. So that's quite a lot of damage. Whoops. Let me apply that damage, and it's injured for sure, which means it now is also flat-footed.
Flat-footed. Yeah, I stab it and kick it in between its stupid legs.
I love that I can just drag and drop that status on it. Okay.
And I get another attack, right?
You can, yes, at a negative
Like
5.
up two
Yes,
more.
you can.
Yeah. Doop.
That's another hit.
Aha! Oh, sorry.
9 points of damage. And it is
And
already.
I can do one minus 10, right?
Yes.
Bring it. Ah, okay. That was asking for too much.
Yeah. Nice, though. Okay, good round. Yeah, the boar gets, brutalized by you with that angry response. Just retaliating with all your might. It says you're unconscious, which I don't think you are. Don't know what's going on
Oh yeah,
here.
it says my current HP is 10. I must have missed. No, it's 0. No, it's 10. There.
Nonetheless, it is very much still aggressive, and it's taking a few steps away from you. So you get, if you have an attack of opportunity, you
I
can.
do have an attack of opportunity.
All right, then take it if you want to. Of course, it's a reaction.
Yes.
And that's a hit. And that's 4 points of damage. But
You stupid creature.
it still survives that. It takes 1, 2. It just kind of dives into the thick vegetation on the side of the road. And for a second there, you feel like, good, you drove it off. But then it comes snorting and charging back. And once again tries to gore you. So many things to do here. So,
But I like my lunch delivered.
Target. Can I target you? What do I do to target you? Right click? No.
Double click.
I think. No, double click opens your sheet.
Double right, I think.
Yeah, double right click should target for the. At least for players. For the GM, I think you might need to. There's a little like circle inside a circle thing. If you click on his token,
Yeah, I think I got it.
you got to
Okay,
click that.
So now I should be able to use the board charge, which give me a bonus. So I strike you successfully and 9 points of damage.
Oof, I am down to 1.
Well, it's on me. Yeah. So once again, it just charges into poor Gris, but she manages to remain on her feet, even though it looks like it's not gonna be for long. John, save her.
Oh no, I can save myself. Next round is mine.
John is going to move to flank the boar and then try to smash it.
Before you smash it, can I just grunt like, "Don't spoil the meat"?
I think that's too late.
So you strike it brutally. An expert hit. And it looks like it's going down, but it is so ferocious that it comes back clearly just running on pure rage and anger at this point. But how can I get it to not have that skull icon?
I can relate.
I guess I can't. But trust me, it's still here. So that was its reaction.
I think John is going to try. No, he's going to raise his shield for his last action.
Okay. And then it's Melchis.
All right. Well, okay. I guess I will just, since I've already drawn my blade, I might as well just run in and try to stab it.
Okay. So 2 move actions and then a strike.
Yeah.
Go for it.
And a strike.
It reared its head one last time. And since it doesn't have a reaction this round, it can't use its ferocity again this round, even though it could theoretically. But you give it the final push, and it is dead.
Yeah, sorry guys. I probably panicked as he has this thing almost gored Gris to death. I really should have let you guys take care of it, but I couldn't let it take any risk, you know.
Well, that makes sense.
And like as I guess at this point, as we come back to our senses, the mutagen fades away because it works like 1 minute only.
And I just lean on the log, like, I think I'm gonna pass out on a blood loss.
Wait, don't worry. I have my medkit here. Just here, chew this some piece of leather and try not to pass out. I'm going to use my risky surgery. I'm joking. I'm not going to use risky surgery.
For a second, Keen was gonna come forward and she was like,
Do you need me to hold her down?
Yes,
Maybe John can assist with the surgery.
Okay. Yes, let's try this then. I will, just use treat wounds. Is there treat wounds actual activity for charge it, or I roll medicine? I will just roll medicine. Just keep holding her. It will be fine.
No, like, I think I'm getting sleepy. I'm just gonna take just a little nap. Save some of the meat.
As Melchis says that, he will try to sneakily rub elixir of life into her wounds. Like, see, it's gonna get better right away. Like, anytime now.
All right.
And since we can do medicine again for an hour, John is going to target some healing magic on Greece.
Do you can you do it if it's a failure, or does that only come into effect when it's a success?
I think it only takes 10 minutes. I'm not using battle surgery, so
Right, but the immunity to treat
I,
wounds.
I think it just from the attempt. Let me double check.
right.
You spend. Okay, the target is then temporarily immune to treat wounds. Yeah, so I guess it doesn't. You can't do it again, even if it's a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. There was a feat for that for an hour now.
Heal me. Help me, John.
I'll never forget your name. John Smith.
Why is this so complicated? Do I do it this way? No. Reduce 8 points from that, and that's the healing you get.
Okay. That's 12.
Are you using the 2-action one?
The 2-action, yes.
Yeah.
And I guess we can get moving again until a while later when we patch you up again.
What?
And
I mean, I'll be okay. It's fine. Thanks for, the bandages and the weird procedure. I'll be all right. I just need to catch my breath.
We cannot go anywhere.
We can't
Keen-
stay here.
Keen is looking at the boar.
Oh,
Yeah, there's quite a lot of meat on that boar, still usable.
and it's very well
I mean, we
tenderized.
could have a meal.
It must go in the bag.
Wait. You're not carrying the entire stupid boar. How about like half and half?
Very well.
She'll
Would
open
you
her
like your
mouth
half
and begin
cooked?
chewing on the boar.
Yeah, no, you get a good amount.
Keep. We talked about this. You wait for everyone and we eat together.
Yeah, no, you're getting a good amount of meat off of that beast that you can use to supplement your rations, for sure.
Yes, let's do that because I have nothing.
That's good. So this is your trail mix. Some raw boar meat.
I mean, can we cook it? Does anyone have flint?
Most
There's
of us
obviously
have
wood around here.
Oh, yes. Cook.
Of course.
Yes, cook. Keen, we've talked about this. Remember? Some people like it cooked, some don't.
She's just gonna just take hunks of meat and add it to her bag, and she'll rip off a couple of thinner strips, and she'll say,
These will sour for Gorgorka.
and she tosses a piece of meat in the air, and the vulture snaps forward and just starts chewing on it.
Nice. So, but are you gonna take the time to set up a
yeah,
fight?
I suppose we take what you call a short rest then. So like spend an hour cooking some boar rations, and in that case, if we spend an hour, we can try to treat wounds on Gris again.
Okay.
Do we need to make any sort of check for the boar, or do we just get meat?
No, that is okay. Let me just roll some other mystery dice. Okay. Yeah, you're good. You spend the hour cooking up the chunks of meat to make it more, it doesn't spoil as quickly. And after an hour, you can try to heal Grease once again.
I'll attempt to aid as well.
How many
If I
people can
remember correctly,
aid?
it's not easy to aid, right? It's like DC 20 to aid.
Yeah.
Is that even the same DC as the actual skill?
No, I think
No.
it's usually 20 unless there's some reason to modify it.
Okay. Ah, yeah.
He doesn't need help.
There we go. It's good.
Yeah, and I don't help, so.
So
Okay, but anyone is good. So how much does Grease?
I didn't actually declare for which DC I'm rolling, because on the default 15th it would be 2d8, but on expert treat wounds DC is 20, which I beat, and it is 2d8 plus 10.
Do you have to say that before you do
I
it?
think I have to say that before.
Yeah, because if you don't choose the DC beforehand, then you can't know if you've critically failed or succeeded.
Oh, okay. So you critically fail when you.
If
Yeah,
I try
okay,
to
I see.
legendarily heal someone, then I would critically fail.
Okay, so we'll assume that you take the normal one in there.
Yeah.
So that's a regular success, which is 2d8. Yeah.
Yes, that would be 11 hit points.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's cool. I really like how everything's tiered in this system.
Mm-hmm. Gives you
It
even
lets-
more options.
Yeah, it lets everything scale really nicely, including like, non-magical healing like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it really pays off to be an expert at that after just making the initial DC, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Alejandro, did you heal? I don't see that Chris got healed.
I'll put it in a second. 1 second.
I just have to ask Simon because I'm too curious. Does at some point Keen sends Gorgorka flapping around over here? Is there anything behind the bushes?
Do you see anything?
I don't see anything.
How much did I heal for then?
11.
11. Oh, I'm
There's
feeling much better now.
probably like a rotting deer carcass or something like that, something that the boar was feasting on. But nothing too interesting. Although maybe Keen would find that interesting, but it's pretty rotten at this point. So Gorborka would probably enjoy it still, but
Yeah, I think her
It's
bag
not
is probably
rotten,
too
it's
full for
aged.
now. Yeah.
It
Well,
is
it's-
soured for flavor.
okay. We're ready to move on, or is there any more healing that you need to do?
We're ready to move on.
Okay.
I added the adventure backpack, adventure kit. Is that okay, or does that cost?
Costs money, yeah, the regular price.
Okay, then I will subtract it. Cool.
Okay, so does this encounter change anything about how you approach your travel, or are you going to continue to whistle and skip along the path?
I'm gonna continue to whistle. I'm just not gonna rush into things.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna whistle right now because it actually hurts. Like I think, like there's a cracked rib or two, and like tight bandages all over the place and leaking tusk-sized holes in my side. So not very in a whistly mood.
Got it. Okay. Well, nevertheless, the remaining hour of travel goes by without any further encounters, and you finally reach the abandoned fish camp. So let me bring your tokens onto the scene, and I hope that it's not going to show too much at once. Do you see anything? If you
Not
do you
yet.
see
You
like
see complete darkness.
you see complete darkness. That's a good.
Says you don't have a token with vision on this scene.
Yeah, that's good for starters, and then we'll see how this.
It's complete darkness with fireflies flying around.
Oh,
What? You see fireflies?
Yes.
It's just the mouse cursors.
yeah. Everybody's cursors. Okay, so here we are. Coming.
Oh, the curse.
Center you here. All right. So you should be able to see pretty far, but not into the buildings. Is that correct?
Yeah, we see only the exterior.
Okay, so if you zoom out, you should be able to get a layout of this whole place, and that's okay because it's fairly easy to take in. It's not that huge of a compound, right? It's a nice camp, or at least it was at some point. You see that it's in pretty good shape, but it's also pretty obvious that it has been abandoned for some time. It's a really nice location with the beach nearby, the water lapping gently onto the sands. You see, well, what do you see? You see the main building, the two, I mean, it should be obvious which one that is. You also see some other like sheds and shacks that are apart from the main building. You see a pile of tangled nets on the far side, and a bunch of like drying racks where fish would be hung up after it got caught. And it's generally it's like yeah, it looks like you would have to put in some work and effort, but this could turn out and could turn into a pretty nice place.
Well, considering that the road to this place is like can be perilous and it's rather remote, and our host was very keen on getting rid of this place. I think I actually like this. This place might come very useful in our business in the future.
Okay, let me give you a bit more of a description here. Okay, so as it's obvious that the thick forest is now behind you, and the trail has opened up onto this long stretch. The beach is not really fine sand; it's more like coarse gravel. But the blue waves of the inner sea are shining and pretty and beautiful. A cliff rises along the beach's northern edge. So it's kind of like a bit of almost like a dead end, if you will. The largest building is this wooden house, and you see that it's built on slightly weathered stilts with a porch wrapping around the south and east, and doors all along the west, east, and south walls. There's this raised outbuilding to the east that shares the main building's porch, and then there are these three smaller outbuildings to the west. A drying rack and a table near the western structures, and near the porch is an old rowboat and a weathered oar, pulled high to avoid the tide, and a little further the pile of dirty fishing nets. And once again, let me know, like as you move around this compound, what is your general disposition? Like, are you moving around carefully? Are you trying to do you suspect that maybe somebody might be here and you want to avoid notice, or are you gonna?
Well, owner already basically told us that something might be here, so Melchis will already draw his weapon and he will mentally prepare. So he will be very careful and watching out for danger.
Oh yeah, I'm drawing my weapon as well.
Okay, well, that's just a momentary action, but it's good to know. But like, so you also move around like Your eyes darting back and forth, always trying to watch over your shoulder. Is that
I'm seeing it. No, just it looks abandoned. See if there's any movement. Like, do we really have reason to be extra paranoid other than, rats and crabs? And some squatters, maybe?
okay? How about John?
John is going to strap his shield on, but otherwise he's not taking any other precautions. He's just looking around for now, trying to take stock of what sort of building is this and what is it that we see over here, and
Mm-hmm.
just trying to figure out what are we faced with.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Keen is looking for ghosts, so she's going to be detecting magic. And also, Simon, do you happen to know of a way to be able to deselect tokens when you've
Yeah.
probably not an issue for you, but
In your settings, if you go to the configure settings, and in the core settings, there is a checkbox called left click to release objects.
there we go.
And you want to have
Because
that.
I keep selecting both of my tokens and then I can't deselect them. Okay, got it.
That should work now though. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
she's
don't
kind of
know.
advancing along and looking for signs of magic.
Okay, so she's kind
Presumably,
of.
yeah, presumably the ghost will register as magic, but I'm honestly not sure.
Okay. You will have to remind me of that most likely, and we will retrofit it in.
It
Uh,
sends it sends
yeah.
pulses out every. It sends like a 30-foot pulse out, and then she just gets a ping if there's magic within 30 feet. She doesn't even get to know the direction.
Okay, can you put an aura on you for now? I think that might be helpful.
Can you do auras on this?
I don't know, can you? Settings problem.
Any idea where? How is there a way to like attach an aura to her or?
I think if you cast a spell or something that comes with an aura, then you can drag and drop it.
Yeah, but I
Just
think
to
it just
have
stays on the
something.
map.
Well, you
I think
could.
I'll try it.
I guess you could. Yeah, it's a good
Let's
question.
see. Detect magic. Place. Yeah, and I think it's just. I don't think it's gonna stick with her though.
Mm.
Does it move with you?
I don't know, you'll have to move it.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna try to think of it. It's okay. I'm sure there's a module that'll let you put an aura on your token, but we'll be okay. All right. I think I got a general idea. Okay, so you move around. Is anything catching your interest? Anything you want to check out first? So, Anthony, I will try to remember to let you know whenever something registers.
I think she's Keen is just. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Keen is gonna like circle the perimeter of the building first to just see if there's anything outside before considering going in.
Hmm? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
There we go.
Okay. So you walk around the building once. Go ahead, walk around it.
Yeah, give it a good look around.
Okay. Yeah, so as you pass the buildings, I will let you know a little bit about it. So to your left, the first two little sheds that you pass, they from the outside, they kind of look like storage sheds. The doors are shut, so you can't look inside, but just from the size and layout, you would say it's probably some sort of storage shed. You move further onward, and then that little slightly bigger building is looks pretty weathered. You would say that it's probably an old smokehouse. The door is shut, and there is quite a bit of a smell surrounding the smokehouse, which is not surprising given that it's probably been filled with fish for all of its existence. And
I
very,
really want some smoked fish right now.
right. But it's not very appetizing, the smell, just Also not surprising given that it's been so empty for such a long time. Then there's one entrance to the main building that you pass here, and then as you move around the building, there are no windows in the back since it's kind of butting up against that steep cliff anyway, so there's not a whole lot of light falling in there. Then you continue to move on. There's a raised porch. As I said, it's standing on stilts, so the porch is a few steps up, and on this end there is no sets of stairs that would get you there. And then
We can climb.
you could, yeah. And then as you move further around, that other outbuilding also kind of looks like storage, but a little bigger, maybe for bulkier equipment or something. You wouldn't be able to know. It looks like it's actually two buildings or two rooms or something because there are two doors that lead into it. And then you are back at the beach. There's this big pile of very tangled fishing nets. It looks like it's kind of rotting, and there's seaweed all over it that stinks of old fish. And that's that.
Any movement, any like signs of coming in and out, those kind of things?
I mean, there are some seagulls around. There's some seagulls around. There's some like insects running across the gravels. Some crabs around. So there's some. Wait. You come back here. So there's some wildlife around, but you don't notice any movements of larger creatures or anything, any inhabitants of this place at all. So, Grease, you move along the porch and you want to get to these doors, as I just saw.
Yeah, I want to get to this one here.
Yes,
Wanna try.
and as you move across, I will need a perception check.
Aye.
19.
Is that blind normally?
Well, he would have gotten the immediate response anyway, so it's okay. Yeah, so you are about to move across this section here. I should be able to show it to you. There you go. This section of the porch, but at the last moment, like as you put your foot on it, you hear the wood creak and splinter, and you quickly shift your weight back so that you don't break through the rotten floorboards. Like I said, it's on stilts. It's probably like 6 feet to the floor, so it would have hurt to fall into it, especially since there are like rocks and shards of wood down there.
Okay.
So,
But it's not like spikes, but still. It's like, I hold on to
not,
Melchis.
not like set a trap. It's just that the porch here is
Yeah,
in
exactly.
bad shape and about to collapse, and it's a bit of a fall down there. So yeah.
Before like I fall, like I grab onto Melchis' arm and like push myself back. Whoa! Did you see that? I almost fell down there. Watch your
Yeah,
step.
there's a lot of work to be done on the on this property, it seems. And Melchis like tries to poke it with the sole of his boot at the floor, like ick. Yeah, we probably should jump.
Yeah.
Right, so still lost.
Yeah, if you
I'm
poke
not jumping.
if you poke it a little bit, like the wood immediately starts to like crack and splinter, and parts of it break off and fall down, and you see that it's indeed in quite a few places it's rotten, and you see like thick spider webs hanging under the porch and along the building's eaves.
Could it be repaired?
It could, for sure. You could try to replace or cover the weak sections of the flooring. Do you want to try it?
Yep.
You can go for it.
Let's see.
Um, can I assist then?
Well, it's too late now. He already rolled, but it's enough. And it takes a little bit to do it, but don't know where you find the replacement floorboard so quickly.
Well, we would take them from the floor, of course.
Yeah, as a cleric of Torok, I'm sure you have your ways, and yeah, you're pretty confident that the section should hold now.
How long does that take?
It doesn't really say. I would guess it's something like a half hour, maybe. I mean, it's not really like totally repairing it. It's just to make it stable enough so that you feel confident to walk across.
Okay.
Could you unpause us?
Oh yeah.
During that half hour, can Keen kind of like stalk around underneath of the decking, like amongst the piers, and just sort of see what's underneath?
Yeah, sure. You can definitely do that. Let me see if there's anything I want to let you do. So underneath the porch, like the stills you notice are mostly still in good condition. So it's not like the whole building is at risk of collapsing. It would probably be safe to replace a couple of them, but it's way more than enough um, to keep the building safe. You do notice quite a lot of spider webbing here, which is something that you might want to ponder. If you can give me a secret knowledge, is it nature? Nature thing?
That sounds reasonable.
Yes, nature. Give me a nature check, please.
I'll make a blind GM roll.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you're a little bit surprised to see that many spider webs here because it's fairly exposed to the elements, and you even find it in spots where normally the wind should blow them away pretty quickly. And some of them are pretty thick too, so that strikes you as odd.
Okay. And do I happen to see any other parts of the floor that look like they might be rotten as well?
No, nothing like that.
Okay. Then as Mr. Smith is hammering away on the floorboards and repairing them or whatever he's doing, she's gonna kind of come back out from underneath, straighten up to her full height again, and she'll
Sorry.
grumble out.
Yeah. Can you give me this perception check?
Oh, you want me to? Oh, sure. Sorry. Will it whisper that?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. No. Nothing changed.
Okay. Great. She'll say,
Wait, sorry. I'm still trying to keep everything straight here.
no, that's good.
Yeah, so you don't see anything under there, except what I already told you, but you do sense a ping of magic.
Oh. Yeah, she'll definitely come back out, and she's a little excited as she growls out.
Floorboards look good. Spider webs, many of them, like the ones that we saw under Otari. Perhaps there are spiders large enough to go with them, but also something else. Magic under the house. Or maybe
Actually, I don't know if I guess detect magic is blocked by walls and stuff, right?
I would think so. Let me read the spell description.
Maybe it's in the ghost.
It's an emanation, so maybe you should look at the emanation rules.
Right.
Emanation. I believe they are blocked. Extending out a specified number of feet in all directions.
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. I mean, I would assume it's blocked. Most spell effects are blocked by walls, so I think it's there's like I know there's burst, which is different from emanation.
When creating an effect, you usually need an unblocked path to the target of a spell, the origin point of an effect's area, or the place where you create something with the spell or other ability. This is called line of effect.
Okay.
So a general rule is that if there is no line of effect, then it doesn't extend there.
Okay. So in that case, it's reasonable for her to assume that the magic was somewhere under the house.
Yes, correct.
Okay. I was just double checking that. So she says,
There is magic underneath of the building.
Could it be the ghost?
Can you tell if it's an object or a creature?
I don't think this the cantrip version of it gives you any information besides magic or no magic. You receive no information beyond the presence or absence of magic.
I like that. So then at higher levels, you get more information. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just sense that something is under in all of those. You know, between all these rocks and a bit of thrift, what is it called? Like wood that's been just washed up. There's some magic.
I'm starting to think that our little host have a thing for not only haunted fisheries, but fisheries infested with spiders. It is the second time already now.
And ghosts.
Yeah.
Do I have a rough sense of where under the house the magic was coming from? Like, did I notice it pinging, like when I was in the middle of the house, or the left or the right side?
Pretty much, like I mean, we don't really know when exactly you cast the spell, but
Right.
pretty soon as you stepped under the porch from where you are right now, you notice like, wait, something is going on here.
Okay, so she would probably have to spend some time, like process of elimination, check over here, check over there, and
Yeah,
start like triangulating on it. But for now, she just comes out and reports that.
Okay. Okay, so what are the others doing with that information? They're just
Well,
we
I mean,
I guess.
I mean, they did tell us we need to clear some pests. We're gonna have to clean some spiders.
Yeah.
Just hope they're not too large.
I guess we won't find anything if we keep standing here. So let's pick a door and open it.
all right. Then pick one.
I pick. Wait, I actually click on this. Well, in that case, Melchis will come up and open this door.
All right. It's a square room that you see on the other side. It holds shelves of boxes and stacks of crates, nets, gaff hooks, rods, and other fishing gear that hang from the walls. The filthy wooden floor is strewn with ragged scraps of sackcloth and gnawed bits of wood.
Uh-huh. Does it
Yeah.
look like a nest?
Okay. And as you almost would have expected, the room is not empty, but filled with some rodents that scurry around, like poke up from between all of the, sacks of materials and between the barrels and crates, and make a kind of like a hissing squeak in your direction, and their fur stands up and we can launch an encounter here. I'll begin encounter, and you should be able to roll initiative.
Okay.
Must be quite large rats.
I would say they're of unusual size.
Okay. I have everyone in here. Yeah, indeed, they are quite enormous. I mean, it's not really that unusual to encounter giant rats in on Golarion in the Inner Sea region. So you're not entirely surprised to find them here. Okay, give me a second here to parse this. Okay, what was that? Okay. All right. That's good. Keen Marrow is low in the initiative anyway. So one of the rats gets the first turn, and it scurries forward. It goes, takes one action to move over here, and tries to bite you. Snapping its jaws at Melchis.
Well, that hits.
Okay, and that is 5 points of damage. And let me see if there's anything riding on that. Doesn't look like it. You just take the damage. Okay, that was its turn. And then another rat's turn comes before anybody else's. It moves over here, squeezes in here next to its buddy. And Malchus, you have cover against it, I believe. So we'll see what happens, but it is going to try and bite you.
Yeah,
And it
that's not won't work though.
Okay, it misses. And then it's Gris' turn.
Okay, from where I am, I can basically only hear what's going on, right?
Well,
So
you
I
see.
run forward
Mhm.
and say, Melchis, step out of the way. When they walk out, I will chop them up.
Mm-hmm.
And can I ready an attack action?
Ready is 2 actions, but you can do it, yes.
Okay, yeah, I still have 2 actions. So, because it was just 1 move action, so I'll ready an attack. And that's my turn.
Okay, then it's John's turn.
John is going to. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can move through the rat's square without
I don't think you
being.
can.
Uh,
They're small, so they still take up the entire square. I don't think you can move through them without, like, tumbling or something.
and he is not a tumble kind of guy. If he were like next to Melchis, would he be able to attack through the door?
Yeah, but it would have cover.
Okay. Okay, well, he's going to one act draw his Warhammer, one act move, and one act to attack the rat.
Okay, 18. I'm gonna have to check with the cover. Cover is just +2 because it hasn't taken cover, so that's a hit. So it takes 10 points of damage. That's a lot of damage. Oh, I accidentally applied damage to John Smith. So that rat is dead.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are they that? Yeah, they are. Okay, that was John's turn, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then one of the rats over here so the first rat like gets smacked with the hammer by John, and it just squeaks its last squeak, and the other rat just continues to like hiss and squeak menacingly, but it doesn't really do anything just yet. It's obviously trying to just like protect its lair, if you will. Melchis, your turn.
Well, none of those are coming in, so okay, Melchis will then step back. Uh, then he will draw his hand crossbow, and then he will shoot the remaining rat. That is right across him. Right, like this.
Well, I would say you have to load it first, which is a second action.
Okay, then I don't do that.
Yeah. So you draw it and load it?
I suppose so.
Okay. And then it's Keen's turn.
Oh, step draw load. Wow. Keen will say,
Stay here, Gorgorka. I will see what they are fussing over.
and will move up. How do I set waypoints? Oh god, it's been too long. Is it shift? What is it?
I don't remember.
What is it? Right click control?
It's something weird, I don't know.
To move with the.
I wanna
Yeah,
set
to
it
like
where-
where your character is moving.
You select the ruler from the tools, and then yeah.
That's. Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, there were three, now one of them is splatted.
She's going to. Well, this is. I don't want to be in the front. She just wanted to see. Um, so I guess she'll. Can she finish her movement over here, realizing that there's more going on there?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you don't have to, you can see this peek inside while you're moving past, sure.
Yeah, and she's going to speak in Knoll again. But what she's saying is,
Prey should flee.
as she eyes this rat right here, and is going to. Oh, I'll just target it, right? I got to switch tools to target it. There we go. And she's going to cast good old Evil Eye.
Ooh, so I'm end up with target one creature. I guess there's nothing about immunities or anything. It crit fails, so it is
So it is
frightened.
frightened 2.
And that means that you take a status penalty equal to this value on all your checks and DCs, but it doesn't have to run away. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it doesn't actually force its movement or anything.
Panicking.
And then she's going to, just in case, cast the shield cantrip.
Okay.
It's her final action.
Your mage armor is still active? That's like hours?
That's an all-day thing.
Okay, great.
That's until the next time she prepares spells.
Okay. Those who can see in the room, at least Melchis, I don't know if anybody else noticed. Yeah, Melchis is the only one who sees it. That between what looked like a tiny gap between the boards of the wall, one of those rats like squeezes through, like really contorting its body as only rats can, and pops into the room, joining the initiative here for the next round. And then it is the frightened rat's turn, but it is indeed frightened, so it takes a step back or two, and just hisses. Gris, turn.
Okay, so I don't want to run in there and have a repeat of what just happened, but I can't just sit outside waiting for the rats to come out.
You charge a boar, but you're afraid of a few rats.
No, well, I'm still leaking. But yeah, screw the rats.
That's one action to move, and then. Oh, nice. Okay. That's what we want to see. Be a
But no,
hero.
yeah, sorry. Like this is a I want to leave the door clear.
Hmm. Yeah, the rat.
And can I move all the way here in one single movement, right?
Yeah, I didn't count the squares, but I'm
Yeah, because I was
assuming.
here 5, 10, 15, 20. And I will attack this one.
All right, do it. They don't have attacks of opportunity, so you can move there without getting harassed.
I mean, I don't even know if I need to do snagging strike anyway, but why not?
Oh, you know what though? That rat had taken a ready action, so it does get to snap at you before you attack it. But
And it's a
that's
critical miss.
we'll see. It misses you, but it probably or obviously distracts you enough so that you critically miss the rat in turn.
But thing. Okay, one more strike.
Oh yeah, that was the second action. Oh, is that taking into account your penalty? Yeah,
It
it
does.
It's a hit.
is. Nice.
Yeah, it's -5.
So you strike. Oh, and you strike and you kill it.
Die, vermin.
John Smith.
He is going to try to step into the room. Okay, he's going to continue his movement over here and attack the rat.
That's a hit, and you do 9 points of damage. And kill that rat. That was two actions.
And with his last action, he's going to raise his shield.
Okay. The rat that has just squeezed into the room scurries forward and tries to bite Gris once. That's a hit. That is 4 points of damage, and then it tries a second time. It's another hit. Another 4 points of damage.
Alright.
Melchis.
Well, everyone ran in, so I will run in as well. He will run in and try to shoot the rat in the face.
In the face. Called shot. It's a hit. And it causes 3 points of damage. The rat squeaks as it gets hit by your bolt, but it doesn't die.
That's not
That was
much.
action number 2. Action 3 is loading, I assume?
Nah. I think I will just move forward like this.
Alright, Keen.
Keen sniffs the air and smells blood and is going to. Oh, that's not. How do you... Waypoints. Whatever, that'll work for now. She sees the last rat there, and she's just going to instinctively lunge at it with her jaws.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure I've targeted it. Oh no.
Yeah, but your jaws just snap close right next to it. And missing it by a mile. Another rat squeezes
Well,
into the room.
She got one
Oh,
more.
okay, sorry.
She's gonna try one more bite.
Okay. Oh, look at that. That actually hits, and it. Oh wow! It kills the rat.
She just grabs it up in her jaws and like does that little like neck jerk thing, and you hear a cracking sound.
Yeah. Yeah. And Keen definitely gets a nasty taste on her tongue, though, from the scraggy rats. But nonetheless, another rat squeezes into the room over here and joins the fight. Where is it? And it actually takes its turn right away. And, well, it is where it is, and it has two people to choose from, if I see that correctly. So one is Gris and two is Keen. Keen gets bitten. Let me delete the ones that are already gone, because that's always kind of cluttering things up. It targets you, and then it's gonna try to bite. Misses one time, tries to bite again, misses a second time, and a desperate third bite is also a miss. Then it's Griz's turn. We don't hear you in case you're talking. Alejandro?
Yeah, sorry, muted. That's next. So I will go for the one that's currently chewing on my friend.
And you miss it, unfortunately. Those nasty little things are fast.
Ah, there had to hit.
Yeah,
God
really.
damn it, stop squiggling around, you stupid. God. Oh, look at that. -10 and I still get it.
Yeah, but it's at an awkward angle, so you don't really do full damage. Yeah. Go
Uh,
That's I believe it's a hit. Let me check its AC. Yeah, it is.
yeah, I forgot to target.
Okay, and you do 5 points of damage, but yeah, it's enough to kill the rat. You hear like scratching and squeaking from behind the wall. It's not very loud. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of them, but you do get the sense that they may be coming more your way.
So we saw them come from this room, the one up north.
Can you look into that room?
No.
No.
Well,
No,
we
no.
can
But yeah,
open the door.
they always came through that northern wall.
Okay.
And like the gaps are probably big enough so that you can see like some furry movement through the gaps.
And I kick at the wall.
When it's your turn.
Oh, we're still in.
Yeah, we're still in initiative. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So that was one move, one act. And you said we were getting the feeling that they are still coming.
Mm-hmm. You still
In
hear squeaks and squeals. Sounds like more.
in that case, he is going to raise his shield again, and that'll be his turn.
Okay. Melchis.
I will holster my crossbow, and I will prepare for the inevitable. So I think for now I will skip this turn, waiting for the rats to spawn again. Well, I mean, if okay, I will make a ready action, so like my remaining 2 actions will be prepared to attack any rat that will appear like here or within my reach, basically.
Oh, can you break that down into actions?
1 action to holster the crossbow, and 2 actions to ready an attack with short sword.
And you could use your short sword. So the you were allowed to use the hand crossbow in one hand and the short sword in the other one, even though you reloaded and everything.
Well, I mean, the church didn't give me an error.
Well, I'd like to double check.
Okay.
Because I think there used to be something about hand crossbows being usable with one hand, but you need two hands to reload them. That's still the case. It's small enough to be shot one-handed, but it still requires two hands to load.
In that case,
So
I will stow my crossbow, draw the short sword, and my third action will do something else. I don't
Good.
know.
All right. So, what is the third action?
I don't know. Nothing for now.
Okay. Keen.
Yeah, if they're still coming, making it nice and easy, she's going to back away, take a step, make a little space, and then she will ready a spell. I suppose she will ready. That won't be good. That won't be useful. So I guess she will ready another evil eye. As soon as she sees a rat, she's gonna glare at it real mean.
Okay. That's her turn.
Yep.
Then, yeah, indeed, another rat squeezes into the room. Right here. And Grizz, you get to act before it.
Can I also evil eye it?
Sure, yeah. It's going to take its will as its aim.
Then I will lunge at it.
Oh, nice. You lunge, you extend your body, attack an enemy, make a strike, increasing reach by 5 feet for that strike.
So, does it count like lunge as one action and the strike as another? Is that two actions?
No. I believe it lets you make the strike as that action.
Okay. Then here we go.
That's crit.
Two critical hits. In frustration, I turn towards the wall and kick it.
Okay. Do you have like an unarmed strike or something set up on your?
I certainly do.
But that was against the wall, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you critically hit the wall, and you kick a nice, sizable hole into the slightly rotten boards, and your foot gets stuck there for a second, and you pull it back out, and a good chunk of wood comes cracking down.
Can I see what's on the other side?
Yeah, there's another like section of the walls for you.
I think the game is bugged and it's just spawning rats. Simon, can you restart yourself?
Yeah, you can look at the room beyond, and it looks like it's kind of like another storage room, a little bigger than this one, but there's similar stuff in there, crates and barrels and fishing supplies and stuff, and of course spider webs everywhere. But it looks like there are no more rats. Looks like this is the last one. And you have another last action.
Yep. Towards the rat. Ah, of course I miss.
It's
That's it. Ah, stupid rat! I'm just like banging at the floor.
Gris, now be careful. We'll have to repair this later.
You'll have to repair the later when I finish off this stupid rat.
That's why I am asking.
John.
John is going to step up to the. Can he step up there? Maybe I need to zoom in. Or is that
It's okay. Yeah, you can step there.
okay? And he is going
Bring it
to
around. Okay.
target the rat and.
Ooh, and yeah, you are apparently also done with this stuff. I didn't even roll critical, but takes double damage and it's dead. And finally, the squeaking and squealing subsides, and no more rats come spawning through the cracks in the wall or the big hole in the wall, and it's just all you hear is the seagulls outside and the crashing of the waves.
All right.
This looks like some sort of storage room. What do we find in it?
Hey, you want to look around? Yeah, so you spend some time searching the rooms and you find a bunch of stuff. I'll assume you search both of them, and you should be able to double click that chest. And you find a couple of, I mean, among all the fishing equipment and a lot of stuff that doesn't seem really very usable anymore after being, just left behind here. But 5 of the tools seem particularly useful, since they are finely crafted long tools: a sledgehammer, a shovel, a hoe, and 2 axes. And one of the crates holds a repair kit, which I'm sure John Smith will appreciate.
He would if he didn't already have his.
Right. Well,
He now has a backup.
right. You can. It's always good to have 2 portable anvils.
Of course.
Yes.
That is the dwarfest thing I've ever heard.
But he's totally not a dwarf, as we've established. All right. Yeah. So that seems to be it. Anything else you want to do here, or should we move on?
Let's move on.
Okay.
These tools will be useful later.
Probably.
All right, let's try this door. And if there's, just careful for spiders.
Okay. Yeah. You open the door, and it opened. It's open. It's just that it's pretty dark inside because there's the windows that are facing outwards are kind of boarded up, or the spider webs are clogging the gaps between the boards and the shutters. So it's pretty dark in there.
John will drop a light spell on his shield.
All right, yeah, that worked. So you move into the hallway where wooden doors line each side of the basically U-shaped hallway, as you should be able to start to piece together. The largest of these doors stands in an alcove on the eastern wall, which is the one I think that you just came in through. Yes. It is flanked by hooks and benches, so it's kind of like a sort of like a mudroom with fishing equipment. And again, cobwebs hang thick, but curiously mostly in the southwestern portion of the hallway. So if you peek around the corner, you'll see that.
Quick question, Simon. I don't know if there's any way that you can confirm it on your end, but I'm just wondering if I'm actually seeing the vision as per low light vision. It is on my sheet as low light vision. When I check the vision settings on the token, it looks like it's set to basic vision, which I'm not sure if that drop down should be like low light instead of basic, or if it's automatically accounting for it.
Let me see. Vision. Ooh. I think that is one of the few models that I have active, deals with the vision. Yes, perfect vision. So it should actually do that on its own. Oh, wait, there was something.
It's not that big of a deal for right now.
Yeah, I'd rather not mess with that because the vision stuff is super like clunky. So if it becomes an issue important, we can figure it out. But for now, we're gonna have to live with it. Okay, so yeah. Sam, if you just take us 2 steps down south, you will see you will be able to look around the corner, and you'll see that you see that little stretch there in the southwestern
Yeah.
corner, where the cobwebs are pretty thick, much thicker than anywhere else.
Okay.
Right, and of
Uh,
course, you have doors to choose from.
yeah, maybe we can start with the closest one.
Yeah, this time I learned my lesson, so I will stick close to the to the melee fighters, so I will be able to flank enemies better.
Okay. So you open that door, and the light from your spell illuminates a starkly appointed bedroom of sorts. There's a wooden bed frame that has slats but no mattress, a battered trunk at its foot, and on the other side of the room, there's a small, simple table holding a ceramic pitcher and a matching empty bowl. There are some tightly latched shutters over the windows that block out the light.
Okay. Moving on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This door opens into a square room where, with one door in each wall. On the far side, you see the main entrance to the camp. The walls have hooks for outerwear benches and boot racks, and thick cobwebs hanging in the corners and some of the doorways.
Oh. So maybe this is the main entrance?
The southern door is the main entrance, and this is
No
like
spiders yet, though.
a foyer of some kind.
Oh yeah, like the entry hall or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Keen will be continuing to like detect magic as we go. She'll poke her head into each room as the others come out of it and just do a quick detect magic.
Okay. Any of the others? Do any of the others want to make a comment on their activities as we're exploring, or are we going to stick with what we've established?
Yeah, sword in one hand, like pushing cobwebs out of the way with the other, ready to stab anything with 4 or more legs.
Okay.
I think John will, since we've seen the presence of rats, he will. I think it's called defend. Keep his shield raised.
Um. Yeah. Okay. So you ready yourself, raising your, keeping your shield ready. Moving forward a little slower, a little more slowly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But nonetheless, still opening the doors and taking point. And this door leads to an office, you would say. There's a battered oak desk that stands almost in the center of the dusty and kind of damp room. Behind it, there's a row of cabinets that lines the far wall. The sole window is once again shuttered, but one of the shutters hangs askew, letting in a stream of light that is not really reflected in the lighting conditions here. Several stools stand scattered around the room.
Does it smell like fish a lot?
I mean, it smells like fish everywhere, but in here, you'd say it's probably a little less pronounced.
Does anything stand out? Anything that needs stabbing?
Nothing jumps out at you or anything like that, no.
Alright, let's keep looking. We're gonna clear it out so we can start cleaning up.
Okay. All right. This room, kind of long, and just filled with thick cobwebs, which makes it kind of difficult to see the details of the room's furnishings. You can make out along the south wall there's a round table that's surrounded by wooden chairs. Sturdy wicker chairs gathering in a loose circle in the western hall half of the room. One door stands in the eastern wall, which is the one you just opened, and then there's another one that's standing to the north. There's a sconce along the wall over the table, and the table itself is partially covered with dark cloth. Yeah, all right. Did I pause you? I didn't mean to pause you. Yeah, you can keep going.
Not a suspicious pause at all.
Not at all.
It's
And
interesting
I-
that
Before we do anything, can anyone cure me a little bit? Does anyone have like a health potion or something?
well, maybe you can come lay down on this table and let Melchis operate on you again.
I will hold her down.
It's like you don't have anything like a syrup, losing. God,
well,
Serenade, protect me.
all right, wait. Just take this, and Melchis will fish out another elixir of life out of his pouch. Do you have the button to use elixir in the chat?
Yep.
Well, there you go then.
All right, wait a second. As you gather in that room, and Melchis kind of puts down his backpack to go through it, finds the elixir, hands it over to Gris. We are going to start an encounter, and I would like everyone to roll perception for initiative.
Pum, pum.
Yeah, of course it is.
So how do I see? Okay. That's this. Gonna have to start from the top. All right, Gris, as you receive the elixir from Melchis, you kind of start moving it towards your lip and are about to knock it back when you see some movement over in the western part of the room where some enormous spiders are trying to stealthily and sneakily make a move towards you. Nonetheless, you have spotted them and you can act before them. But right now you're holding the elixir in one hand and the sword in the other.
I'm gonna clip it back. Can you unpause us?
Yes.
So I'm clicking use elixir, but nothing happens.
Okay. I will use elixir for you. This.
Gluk. That's 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think
was
you can just click the heal button and it will add it.
Should have done that. Okay, so I take a swig and do like. Okay, time to deal with these spiders, huh? And sword in hand, I chuck the empty flask back. Step here, and I will lunge at it.
Oh wow.
I didn't tag it.
Yeah, but that is definitely a hit, maybe even critical. No, just a regular hit.
Wiping with the back of my hand. Like, let's do this.
So you cut through some of the cobwebs to get to the spider's body and you kind of almost lop off one of its legs. That is action 2, I think. No, 2 was
3.
3 is attack, yeah.
2 with movement. This was the third one.
But then it closes in on you. I believe you don't threaten that area, even though you used lunge. It's just for this one action that you have the increased reach.
Yep.
So it's closing in on you, and then it targets you, and it's gonna try to use its fangs on you. But it misses. That was its second action, and then it's gonna try to use its fangs again, which is another miss. Then it's the other spider's turn, which is going to contemplate its abilities for a second. Just a moment. Okay. And a web shoots forth from its web gland. I don't know if that's the thing. And it tries to strike John Smith with it. That's a hit. So you are now stuck to the floor because the web kind of it comes flying towards you as a ball, but then it sort of explodes and like just covers you head to toe, and it anchors against the wall and the floor and the ceiling, and you're just trapped in it. You cannot move. You're stuck to the nearest surface. So I guess you can still move your arms around. You're just immobile right now. Yeah, you just can't move in terms of striding, I think. But you could probably still defend yourself. Okay, that was its first action. The second action is trying to do the same for Gris.
Yikes, that's a one action. Yikes, okay.
Yeah, it's just its ranged attack, but it is an attack, so it does take the multiple attack penalty. However, two targets for whatever
That
reason.
does not hit.
18 does.
19 AC.
Okay, nice. Okay, so good thing you got the Teflon armor and the webbing slides off. And it is, but it's just gonna rapid fire two of those at you, but the third one also misses by, like it just hits the floor. Okay. That was the spiders, and then it's Keen Marrow's turn.
Okay. She's gonna, against her better judgment, but she sees that the normal frontliners are a little tied up at the moment. Can she move through the area of this table, or does she have to like go around it?
I would say it counts, at least, yeah, it counts double movement, but you could like squeeze past it.
Okay, then I don't think it really makes a difference if she has to like circle around or go straight through. So she'll do 10, and then 15 over here, and then I believe she can do this. You drop a cone from the corner of a square, right?
I think you can choose where you want it to emanate from.
Okay. And she's going to go ahead and cast a spell with a 15-foot cone. Or actually, it's technically a cantrip, but...
Here it is. The cone must share the first square of that cone must share an edge with your space if you're aiming orthogonally, or it must touch a corner of your space if you're aiming diagonally.
So then it's a corner. So it should be fine. She's going to cast Haunting Hymn, and there's the sound of hyena cackles, which begins to rise in that area ahead of her as she drops the cone. Oh, no. Come on. How do I rotate it? There we go. Right there.
Okay. Sonic, auditory. I wonder if that means anything for my fighters. But it's just an animal. It doesn't say anything about not being susceptible to sonic stuff. Even though I'm pretty sure that spiders don't really hear, but okay. Anyway,
Spiders absolutely here,
thought they were like
but mostly through vibrations.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But that would still work with Sonic, I guess. Okay, so it's a basic fortitude. Let's do that for spider number 1 and spider number 2.
Ugh.
Wait, 1 crit succeeds, which I believe then means that nothing happens.
No damage, yeah.
And the other one fails regularly, which means regular damage.
Only 4 points.
All right. But it's 4 points. Was that your round?
It was 2 actions to cast that, yeah. So,
Okay.
she conjures these cackling sounds into the area as she says,
My ancestors are with me.
and that's her turn.
Nice. John.
John
Yeah.
would like to break free from this webbing.
That would be an escape action.
Escape.
Typically, the athletics DC of the creature grabbing you.
1 second, sorry.
So I guess you want to roll athletics.
Yes.
Oh no! Wait. What is it in this case then? I guess it is athletics.
It does say you can choose acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, it does. Okay, I was just there. It is. Yeah.
It's the very last sentence. So
Or an attack modifier.
oh,
Well, 25 is enough. Wait, but it's important if you crit succeed or regular succeed. So the athletics DC of the creature immobilizing you. Let's see what. Oh no, I think the DC was in the description. Not a crit success. So you get free and remove the grabbed, immobilized, and restrained conditions imposed by your chosen target. Good. You're free.
okay. So that was 1 act, and then 1 act to move. Let's say over here, and then last act to strike at the spider and miss.
All right. Melchis.
Okay. As an action, I will try to recall knowledge about the spiders to make this spider flat-footed because as per my class ability. That should be, I believe, nature, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
24. That is plenty. So let me see. That's a success. You recall the knowledge accurately or gain a useful clue about your current situation. Well, it's a giant spider, and they shoot web from their web glands, as we've
That's right, but
learned.
more importantly is that they are now flat-footed for my attacks. So I will.
Well, just that particular creature, right? Not both of them.
Yes, that's one. I want to
Okay.
stride and try to stab it.
All right.
Where is my toggle for those sneak attacks? Well, I will just oh, I
Because you
forgot.
did target, but check its AC. That is a hit. So damage, and it takes 5 points of damage, which means it's pretty badly injured, but
And
not.
it was flat-footed, so it also takes my sneak attack damage.
Okay, where is that?
It's 1d6.
All right, it takes that too, and that takes it over the edge and it dies.
Hmm?
Good. You have action left? Or, no, that was
That's it.
move, recall knowledge, and then attack, right?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, Grizz.
All right. Oh, back in time. To get to this one, will I be walking into like a mess of spider webs?
Interestingly enough, they don't really impose a movement restriction. The spiders that are further than 15 feet away are concealed from you, but you can move through them easily, through the cobwebs.
Then I will snag and strike it.
Okay. Melee
That
strike.
is a hit.
That is a hit, so that's damage for it, and
And it's flat-footed, all 8 feet.
now it's also flat-footed.
Ooh, that's nice.
And second attack.
That's another hit. Ooh, 10 points of damage, and that kills it dead. Nice.
All right, we're gonna have to clean up this place if we're gonna make it inhabitable, and that includes spiders. And that's it for my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lift the initiative because you successfully killed both spiders, and to your great relief, there are a couple of smaller spiders that like scurry around the thick webs and webbings, but nothing else shows up.
Crush them now before they grow larger.
Yeah.
There's maybe I've not really described that correctly. There was a sconce on the southern wall. Maybe you could remember that, and it is not the table, but the sconce is covered with a dark cloth. So that would definitely draw your attention.
Ooh.
I missed the sconce.
Okay. There is one.
Isn't there like a north-south marking on the map? Because I keep getting confused. If there was one, it would have been.
Well, south is down.
South is south.
South is down, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we can check out the cloth.
Mm-hmm. Well, the cloth itself is just like thick, dark cloth, densely webbed. And as you move it around a little bit, there's light behind it, like as if it's covering some kind of light source.
Detect magic.
Ping! Magic.
It's magic.
And Keen will quickly come over to the sconce wherever it is, and has John already touched the cloth, like interacted with it?
I would say so. I mean, unless he says that he specifically avoids it when he says he examines it, I assume that he's touching it.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, Keen will like rip the cloth off and see what's underneath.
And you reveal an ever-burning torch that is sitting in the sconce, illuminating. Once you remove the cloth, that is illuminating this room with its light. And you should be able to grab it from that chest if you want it.
Mm-hmm.
One of us should grab it.
Human packmates, your eyes are no good. Take.
And she grabs the torch out of the sconce and like shoves it in Griss's face.
I got my own. How do I turn on a torch?
No, this is better. Magic. It is always a light.
Okay. Then, thank you.
I thought Grizz didn't trust magic.
No,
That's
I
why-
have.
that's why she
it's
gives
not
it
that I
to
don't
us.
trust- I put like people who are like all like wizards and
Ah, okay.
sorcerers, and like people in robes who feel all better than thou.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. So other than that, the room is as I described it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick the torch from the chest if you want it.
Uh-huh. Sorry. And
Oh, it even says the room name.
Well, yeah, that's because I named the chest the same thing as I
Ah,
could have also called it a sconce in the wall. I guess that would have been nicer for the. Well, I'm learning. Okay, yeah, so you step back through the door into the main hallway. There are two doors right here.
well, I guess we're going clockwise.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
The door opens and you look into what must be the fish camp's dining room. But it remains so full of cobwebs that it's hard to see anything inside, and there are tiny spiders that skitter along the silken threads. In the middle of the room is a large trestle table with benches along each side. A cabinet along the south wall holds a collection of tin dishes. The door to the east is unblocked, but if you peek inside, you might notice that there's a door to the north, and it has several planks nailed across it from the inside. Um, okay, give me a second. Yeah, that is the description of the room. And of course, now that you've already encountered a bunch of spiders, you might be wary. So. Okay, you should be free to move if you want to move.
there we go.
All right, you all move into the room, and we can start another encounter.
oh, great! Now that we're all in here, we can start the encounter.
Everybody's cozy. All right, yeah, roll your perceptions.
Perception or initiative?
That is the same thing.
Sorry.
Well, you're doing initiative with perception.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but one is like to look around and the other one is to get in the turn order.
Well, it can be a different skill if you are if you do something like sneaking around or something like that. Okay, let me just finish these initiatives here, and then we can. Great. Okay, that makes it easier. Yeah. So as you move into the room, the tiny spiders, of course, have been moving around the whole time. But other than that, things had been kind of quiet and still. But as you move fully into the room, like brushing away the thick cobwebs as you make your way into it, all of a sudden you see larger things moving in the thick spider webs. There are two more of those giant spiders, although one of them is kind of concealed from you. You can barely make it out. But there's also a hideous creature that has joined the spiders here. It is humanoid in nature or in shape. It's ugly as hell. It kind of looks like a mix between a spider and maybe an ogre. Uh, and yeah, it's moving easily and almost gracefully among the spider webs, and it is chittering as if it's communicating with the spiders in some unknown tongue. And it is 5 o'clock, which is unfortunately time for us to call it a day.
Alright.
Just got interesting. But that's all right. We made some good progress here.
Yeah.